Mount Kotsu, affectionately called Okotsuan by the people who live nearby, is a mountain rich in plants, indispensable for washi making. The mountain abounds in washi materials such as kozo and gampi, along with noriutsugi and gimbaiso, which are used to make neri, a viscous formation aid. It is said that Mount Kotsu has taken its name from kozo. The Kawata River that flows through Yamakawa-cho and the renowned Yoshino River, these two waterways supply an ample amount of pure water essential for papermaking. Such favorable natural circumstances were conducive to the development of washi manufacture. But when did it begin, and under whose direction? Inbei Shrine, located in Yamasaki, Yamakawa-cho, houses a god regarded by local people as the creator of washi. Various historical documents say that the Inbei tribe, which once ruled the area, grew hemp and kozo in order to weave cloth and make paper. They offered their products to the imperial dynasties. This may be the reason why the god worshipped at Inbei Shrine is regarded as the originator of washi. The art of washi making has been passed down through the generations since the days of the Yamato dynasty, about 1400 years ago. Needless to say, such washi making materials as kozo, mitsumata, and gampi come from trees. Isn't it a wonder to see the conversion from stiff branch to pliant paper? How does this metamorphosis take place? Here is a simple explanation of the washi making procedure. First, the stalks are steamed and the bark removed. Next, the bark is cooked to soften it and eliminate impurities. The subsequent beating separates the fibers. The separated fibers are made into paper. Drying produces finished sheets of washi. Now let's take a look at how kozo and mitsumata are gathered and the bark removed. These are fields of kozo and mitsumata located in Yamashiro-cho, Kaminyo in the Miyoshi district. The harvesting begins in February and continues until the end of March, when the fields become covered with mitsumata blossoms. Kozo and mitsumata, thus collected, are tied in neat bundles and steamed for about 2.5 hours. This makes the bark easier to peel. The bark of kozo is now being peeled. The mitsumata branches, mitsumata means 3 legs, are more difficult to peel, so the work takes place outdoors. The removed bark is then brought to the processing factory and soaked in water for a whole day to soften it. The bark is then cooked in an alkali solution for 4 hours to obtain the pure fiber. This cooking procedure is called shachuku. The cooked fiber is left overnight and taken out the next morning. It is then whitened in 3 steps using a bleaching agent. Since knots or bark flecks would lower the paper quality, they are removed in this hand cleaning procedure. The work is arduous in winter as the flecks must be hand-picked from fiber soaking in very cold water. There is even a folk verse that testifies to the difficulty of the task. Don't marry your daughter off to a man in Kawata. Once all impurities are removed, the fiber is beaten. Beating is an important step in washi making. The point is not to break the fibers, but to separate them as much as possible into individual fiber lengths. In the next process, the loose fibers go through a naginata beater to further separate and fluff them. Now all the preparations for washi making are finished. During the paper-making process, the individual fibers become intertwined to produce a sheet of washi. Let's explore the secret of turning tree bark fiber into paper. Here is a sheet of washi. See, when it is torn, the fibers of the bark are enmeshed with one another and aligned in the same direction. This is because the intertwined plant fibers adhere to each other as the paper dries. Paper production makes use of this property. The countless fibers that are deposited in thin, even layers bond together when dried to produce a strong sheet of washi. To obtain sheets of even thickness, the fibers floating in the water must be uniformly suspended. Now let's see what will happen if the fibers are put in water. As you see, these fibers sink. Under these conditions, it is impossible to make a thin, strong sheet of washi. This is where neri comes to play its important role. This is the root of tororo aoi that is used to make neri. The viscous neri is obtained by pounding the root and soaking it in water for a while. This is neri. It looks like glue, doesn't it? But neri is not used to glue the fibers. Here is how neri functions. Neri extracted from tororo aoi is added to water that contains kozo fibers. Let's compare how the fibers appear in the water with neri and without it. See the difference. Thanks to the viscous neri, the fibers float in a stable suspension. In addition, the neri keeps the individual fibers evenly dispersed. With the fibers thus dispersed, repeated dips can be used to build up a sheet of intertwined fibers that will be both thin and strong. The flowing Nagashi-zuki method you now see constitutes the mainstream of today's washi making. A second, even older dipping method is known as Tamazuki. Here, sheets of washi the size of postcards are being formed. Heavy stones are placed on top of the completed paper and left overnight to drain the water gradually. The weight is increased to press the paper for another day until the water content is reduced to about 70%. The drying process is finished. Have you ever wondered how a thin sheet of damp paper can be peeled off from the wet pile without tearing? The secret is that the paper is a mesh of overlapping plant fibers. The stack of wet papers is called a shito, literally paper floor. Thanks to the use of neri, each sheet of washi in the pile is formed of well-meshed fibers and is of uniform thickness. Such sheets do not stick to one another, but peel away easily from the pile. Another reason the sheets separate easily is that the paper is still wet. Plant fibers adhere tightly to one another when they are dry. When wet, however, the bond is weak making separation of the sheets easier. Colorfully dyed papers are a special feature of Awawashi. There are two methods of dyeing: pre-dyeing the fiber, sakizome, or dyeing the finished sheet, atozome. Here, a finished sheet of washi is being dyed in indigo using the atozome process. To strengthen a sheet of paper for dyeing, a glue-like extract from the devil's tongue plant is applied. Brush strokes follow the paper's grain. The indigo dye vat must be maintained at the right temperature. For dyeing, only high-quality uniform sheets of 100% kozo fiber are used. Otherwise, the paper might tear during the dye process. The dye process lets us see how truly strong handmade washi can be. Even considering the coating of devil's tongue extract, it's still surprising that the sheets hold up in water, just like pieces of cloth. In addition to indigo dyeing, there are other methods using both natural and chemical dyes, offering a wide variety of colors. Made from natural plant fibers without chemical additives, washi deteriorates little with the passage of time. The length of the fibers used further enhances the paper's strength and durability. Because of these outstanding features, washi is used not only for writing and painting, but also for a variety of other daily purposes. The unique texture of washi is refreshing and comforting in our busy everyday lives. Natural materials and artisanship, these two elements are combined to create Awawashi. While cherishing its long tradition, the makers of Awawashi will never cease exploring new possibilities for this exceptional paper.